Good morning to Dale and Jerry.
Good morning, kids.
Hey, I've achieved great guest status.
Well, it's different levels based on hours sitting in here.
All right. Awesome.
Based on
Good morning. Good
how
morning.
Jeff feels this morning.
How's it going?
It is going swell. How's it going for you?
We are doing well on a Wednesday morning, and we're thinking that things are going to start getting nice here as there's a lot of events on the way with Matlock this weekend.
Here's the Matlock Old Timers Fair this weekend. One of my favorites.
Before too long as well.
And Bluegrass is in May as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Celebration next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday.
Friday the 11th.
Thank you for absorbing the MC duties.
That'll be a heck of a lot of fun.
The least a board member could do.
At least, congratulations on that one. And along with naked gardening, there'll be naked shrimping this weekend.
This Saturday. Yeah.
Well, now we're talking.
Lots of sunblock.
A lot of sunblock will be absorbed.
A lot of zinc out there.
I love that.
In the waterways. So that's on the way, shrimping. Is that this weekend?
Shrimping
Yeah.
starts this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. In our District 12.
Yeah. It's
And so that's the Hood Canal area. And so that's going to be this Saturday and then the following Wednesday and Saturday, and then they kind of skip a week and then go one more time on a Wednesday. So, and it appears as though, I mentioned to Jerry the other day, there's more wildlife this spring around the canal than we've seen in years past. And so the eagles have been active, lots of exceptional number of birds and migratory birds and that sort of thing. And then now the whales came by our house
Shut up.
yesterday,
yesterday.
fun.
She's got a little picture.
right outside the buoy line.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they were
Yeah.
Close.
That's that pod that they were.
And of course, I had to wake
talking
Dale up to see it.
No.
So there's 6 in this pod now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these were baby orcas?
Little baby orcas. But so talking about that, so waking me up, I heard him. My window
Yeah.
was open in the bedroom, and I heard him blowing.
You're
Of
kidding.
course, I didn't get too
It
close.
sounds. I can't
Goodness.
even explain what the sound is. But I was wondering. I'm laying in bed, going, "What in the world is that?" Sounded like kind of like a hydraulic
Wow.
of some sort going, you know.
Really?
And it was them breaking and blowing their deal, and
They kind of huff and puff.
and it's loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And anyway, there's I knew that there was at least 3 or 4. Somebody said today's 7. I think Nick did on the
Nick had
news.
6 on the pod.
Yeah, plus the baby. Anyway, there was when they went by. They, of course, by the time I fumbled around, got the camera and everything, they're gone. But just outside the buoy line, and there's a boat moored there. A large boat, a neighbor's buoy, and they were right. It was like they were right around it. So it was really cool.
How
I'm hoping
fun.
that all
That
this
sounds
activity bodes well for shrimp.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
you would think.
Okay.
I mean, if there was
Yeah,
no
so-
shrimp,
Yeah.
there'd be no animals.
I'm encouraged that there's going to be a pretty vibrant shrimp season this year.
Not to burst his bubble, but when you spend more time at home on the canal, then you see more.
Oh, I see what's going
So
on.
I'm hopeful that
So
he's
maybe
right
the
and I'm
same
wrong.
levels. Just your,
I'm paying
you're
attention.
more
Yeah,
aware.
yeah. More aware.
That'd be fun.
A lot more
Anyway.
time just sitting in the back
So
looking
you're going to
out.
go out there and throw a cage out there and get some shrimp?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the
what
secret?
you
Yeah,
do?
What's the
yeah.
secret
Yeah.
ingredient?
Shrimp pots.
Can't give you that. I'd have to shoot you.
I know
They have
it
to
has
kill
something
you.
to do with kitten food.
Oh yeah, everybody puts cat food in.
Everybody does
That's
cat food, but there's a
Do
couple of
they?
distinct differences that we do. We had to.
and Blabbermouth will tell you in a minute.
No, I won't. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Well, we'll
So,
move
we're-
topics then. So
and we're going to go out with
secret is safe.
some friends of ours, some neighbors, and
That'd
we're
be fun.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be
but-
cool.
yeah, not in our little 14-foot boat, but next Wednesday we may. And next Wednesday, of course, if we're out there,
Well, you
we'll
can
have to call in. Yeah,
Live report from the waters.
From the
That would
waters.
be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we'll do
so-
that.
so fun stuff on that one.
How was North Mason last week? You were up there?
It was great. What's that called? Freight
Yeah, it's the SR3 freight corridor.
Freight corridor.
And we got a bit of an update on that. Of course, I think things are supposed to start hopping in 2019.
Yeah, it's going to be here one of these years.
That's what they say. But they've identified potential connectors. That was one of the big things with doing the bypass. The big concern is, well, then nobody will go down into Belfair. I think they'll see more commerce in Belfair because people will be willing to get off the road.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but
We
anyway,
got two marked Romance Hill is one.
and Roybode Road, and the third one is Newkirk. Now, the issue with all of the connections is they have to cross the Navy Railroad, and in order to do that, they've got to get permission to do that. So that's they're concerned about how long that'll take. And then the other issue, because of the terrain, is how steep and that's why they chose the ones that they did, because they are less steep, and the steeper you go, it just increases the cost to its
unbelievable.
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was an interesting presentation for sure. And
like it.
the Bremerton Hospital, which is now
Harrison,
CHI.
yeah, CH,
Franciscan.
yeah.
Good, yeah.
And they are building a brand new 8-story hospital in Silverdale. Huge.
Yeah.
And so they've got a big project going on up there, and they brought a PowerPoint presentation from the CEO there. Came down and presented as well. So
very
big
cool.
doings,
Good for them.
big doings up in Kitsap County for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then on another note, Dale is progressing with his book
Let's talk about that.
narrations.
Oh, okay.
Last week,
RV 101.
what should we try? Are there samples on all of these?
Yeah. Every time we release a book, there's a retail
Let's hear it.
excerpt.
Should we do the PhD football? Because that's the new one, right?
That's the new one, just came out this week.
But it
Okay.
might bore your
Or there's
audience.
the RV living practical.
I
let's
think
try
RV
that one.
living would
Should we
be
try
more
that?
That'd be
entertaining.
more
Let
fun.
me see if
Yeah.
I can get
Yeah.
a sample from Audible here on Amazon.
And then
Hold on a second here. Let's see if we
Okay.
get this to work. It says it's playing. Hold on. Let me unmute this. I have all these tabs open. Oh my
I
god!
love it.
It's so amazing because
Well, it's funny that
I
you
know
know the
you.
voice.
Yeah.
I know. You're like, I would so listen
I know
to
that guy.
I know that guy.
Even if I didn't have
That's
an RV.
cool. I'm glad
Yeah.
that worked.
Yeah.
So now that you got two,
I have 2 books out now, so those 2, and I will be. I'm trying to take time to
sign on.
do a nice presentation on Facebook and
Oh,
LinkedIn
yeah, yeah.
with the book covers and all that stuff. But I did want to mention that I do have some codes for Audible. So if you are not signed up to be on Audible, you can get your first book for free.
Sure.
And I can give you a code to join Audible and to pull a trigger on that.
Nice.
Very
And
cool.
then I get a little stipend for that
Nice.
as well.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Well, you
that's
put the work
nice.
in.
so I've got lots of codes, and I'll work something up with
How do we do
you
that?
guys, and then maybe we can even give some codes away.
That'd be fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's cool.
definitely.
yeah.
So we'll do that, and I'll have I got to have a bushel full of them here after the second book now, and then I'm 2/3 of the way through with my murder mystery, which I'm just wrapped up into. I keep giving her updates on the storyline.
Is it
It's
a good
just-
story?
It's really a good story.
I love
Yeah.
murder mysteries.
Yeah, this is a good. They just arrested the husband of the lady that got killed.
Oh.
They just arrested
They
her.
always arrest the husband.
Taking him off to jail, and the widowed detective, is just sauntered on over to the neighbor ladies
Oh,
because she was the best friend of the lady that got murdered.
She
And,
knows everything.
and plus, I think they got a little spark going there between the widowed detective and the neighbor who got.
How
It
rare
must
that a
be.
woman would murder her husband.
Right?
Geez, I can't figure it out. I think I'll get some tips from the book.
so
Hey, wait a minute.
your football book says that the listening length is 7 hours, 6 hours and 57 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long.
How long did that take you to record? 21 hours? Three times as much?
At least.
A month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing about a 3-to-1 ratio. I did
That's probably about right.
I did about. I told Jerry it was a 22, 30. I did about 35 or 40 minutes of the book yesterday, and it took me almost 2.5 hours.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Let's hear this.
Yeah, you
portion
can't
of
just
this
sit
one.
down and read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
no
you got to
way.
break it up.
So you're going to listen to
Let's
another
try
one?
let's try this
The
football,
football one.
Oh, I keep muting it here. I have these. Sorry about this. I'm prepared this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
love it.
you can. I mean, now you've got more knowledge probably than you ever even imagined when it comes to football. With
Oh, my word.
passing schemes and things like that.
Yeah. So a little bit different delivery between
Yeah.
those two. And then this murder mystery one is a completely whole different.
I bet.
with,
that's
with
fun.
complete with different voices, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
go into
that's his. He's always liked theater, so he's
Well, yeah.
and always been a ham. So this is right in his.
How fun.
Did
Right.
they
It
ask you
stinks.
to do different voices, or was that part of your creative license?
Well, when they present a book and if you want to audition, usually there'll be some notes from the rights holder, and
Yeah.
they'll say, well, it's got several character voices, or we need a British accent, or there'll be we're in the South, or we this, that, or the other, and then if you feel like taking on the challenge, you give them an audition.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
And-
really cool.
And then I got unsolicited requests to audition, which was kind of exciting.
Yeah.
And it's just a real short murder mystery comedy. So a dramedy,
Sure.
Yeah.
and it's a short one. It's only like an hour long book, and so
Perfect.
I did a 5-minute deal and sent it in. But that 5 minutes had like about 5 different people in it. I'm going like, oh, geez,
Wow.
probably would be a challenge.
Yeah,
great.
and
yeah.
some different tricks. I said, well, how do you keep him straight on who's saying what? So what he goes through is he goes in and highlights the different conversations
smart.
with
Yeah, different colors.
and who's who with a cheat
Color
sheet
coded.
of here's who I am or here's who I'm not.
Wow,
So,
that is a challenge.
yeah. So
A fun challenge.
yeah, so
I know, right?
How are you?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that.
You know what I said? This is just up his alley. He's always talked into a mic and to himself.
Right.
So it works really
That's
good.
fun. How fun.
Yeah.
Quickly, one more thing.
One more thing. Yeah, last Friday I got an opportunity to set in on the senior presentations. I didn't get to see Caleb's, but I did get to see 9 others. What's that? Yeah, you did. We saw each other when we got there. But that's a great experience to listen to the kids, what they have planned, how organized or in some cases disorganized. There's a couple of them that weren't going to go on to college, and if we go back to graduation matters, it's important to graduate, and after that, what are you going to do? And college doesn't fit everybody, and there were several
Yeah.
there that it didn't fit, but they definitely had plans on what they were going to do, and some of them was great aspirations to be a engineer, or I think a welding or he was interested in welding, going to go into the Navy to pay for it. So the whole thing is they
perfect.
have to not only identify what they're going to do, they have to go visit the campuses, and they also have to understand the cost associated with it and how they're going to pay for it. So it's
Right.
kind of a complete package for them to, think about what it is that you think you're going to do. And I think it's a great program.
I
and
think it is too. I think it is too. And I'm proud of Caleb. He did really well.
great.
What was it? 48 out of 51.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty
Good.
Pretty good. I
Good.
mean, not as good as Mark, but
Mark. No.
I did ask some questions, mainly about have you thought about this, and try to give some encouragement, especially going into the trades, because the trades are really hurting for resources and understanding that. And being prepared. There's one that was not really prepared, but that's something that is going to help him be successful.
Right.
So yeah.
yeah, cool. Well, that's
Very
good that you
nice.
did that.
Yeah.